Okay, welcome back to Thurleston Airgun and Archery Centre, where today we're going to be test firing the Steyr Scout by ASG. It's made in conjunction with Modify. Modify, the OEM, ASG are the licensees and are importing it into Europe. It's a pretty faithful one-to-one replica of the very famous, almost meme rifle seen in Counter-Strike, numerous movies and other computer games. So let's have a brief look over the model, talk about a bit of its origins in real life, and then we'll go into the range and have a test fire. So as I said, this is the Steyr Scout. Now this comes from the Scout rifle concept by a guy called Jeff Cooper in the States. Jeff Cooper was pretty much the father of kind of tactical handgun usage in the States. And he wanted to create the concept of one rifle for one man. This is all the rifle one guy would ever need. So it's not built for any one task. It's a frontier rifle, it's a hunting rifle, it's a backpacking rifle. You can press it into service as a fighting rifle, but it's really not what it's intended for. It's in a caliber 7.62 NATO, which is just about capable of taking down large game if you really have to. That it's really not what it's for. So it's very much in that purpose of one rifle, all that rifle you'll ever need for one guy. The concept for the Scout rifle, so it was lightweight, about 6.6 pounds, which is pretty light in terms of hunting rifles. Polymer chassis, so there's no warpage. Barrel length long enough to get decent velocity. You can see the kind of lightweight ethos with the scalloping on the barrel end here. It was also built to take a long eye relief scope. So the scope would actually be mounted on the front of the chassis up here. And when you're looking down it, you're quite away from it. So one, there's no danger of the rear of the scope hitting you in the eye. And two, it keeps your vision and your peripheral vision all over the place. If you're stalking game through bush, you really want to be able to see what's going on around you. If that wild boar starts charging you from off in the other direction, but you're stuck behind this scope, you're going to be in trouble. So that was the concept behind having the scope mounted here. It also meant you could load it by charger. So this one doesn't have a charger loading bridge. However, the Scout rifle concept wasn't just the Steyr Scout. It was about a class of arms in general. So you could still charger load it from behind. If you've got a big scope over the front, you can't charger load it. Needed a detachable magazine, quick loaded. And one of the parts of the concept was to have another magazine on the rifle so you could change it quickly if you wanted. Right, so let's go tip to butt and talk about the features of this rifle. So underneath the muzzle, we've got a conventional 14mm CCW thread for your silencers, tracer units, muzzle devices and everything else you might want. We've got this nice scalloped barrel to aid lightweight, the polymer chassis. One of the concepts was to have integral iron sights. So they're really slick, you can't see them, but we pull forward on this little lever here and the front blade pops up and we can get underneath and pop up the rear. Just a little peep sight. So actually you don't even need any optics or anything else, it's already built in. And these fold away out of use really nice and easily. And we're back to having that slick top. So this is one of the almost controversial features, and that's the integral bipod. Now it wasn't really intended to be shot from a bipod, but it's almost a nice to have, and it's there if you need it. So to get access to the bipod, we push down on this button and the two sides of the fore end drop out. So that's pretty cool, it's built in, really doesn't add much weight other than the mounting hardware. It does give a fairly sensible shooting platform. And I've heard some feedback from some guys that had to use these on security contracts that they weren't particularly suited for that. To be expected, it's a hunting frontier rifle, not a heavyweight military sniper rifle. To fold them back, you need a bit of a leap of faith. Take it, and you'll hear that little scary snap. That's absolutely fine, it's just a detent popping back into place. But once they're in place, they stowed away nice and safely. And you've got a nice bit of grip for your hand with these panels here. So also under the bipod is your hop-up adjuster, and you can see it here, and that's a little sliding arm which goes back and forward. Whoa, windy at Thurleston. So the actual magazine for the Airsoft version is forward of the fake magazine, as is quite normal in some of these replicas now, and clicks into place. And that's flush to the bottom of the handguard, you're not going to catch it on anything. And to release it, pull back on this little catch at the front of the magazine here. In place, release the mag, pull back, and we're out. We've got some nice Steyr Arms trademarks on the back of the receiver here. Right, so the safety. Red dot means fire. White dot is safe. To take the safety off, you push down on this white block, roll it forward until you can see the red dot. That falls quite naturally under your thumb when it's in the shoulder. On the real rifle, when this white block is showing, you can't then cycle the bolt. It locks the bolt out. I haven't quite been able to do that on the Airsoft replica, but it does still block the trigger. It blocks the trigger on the white dot as well. On the real rifle, when just the white dot is showing, it blocks the trigger, but you can cycle the bolt. Safety feature for when you're carrying it. And then flick to red, goes off. The trigger's really nice actually. So we've got an alloy upper with the receiver rails on, polymer lower. Plastics are really nice actually. They feel really sturdy, pretty high quality. Well, let's have a quick go on the trigger and the bolt throw. It's a pretty light bolt throw for a Springer. The trigger has a tiny bit of take up, a fairly crisp wall, and it's pretty light. So it's quite a nice trigger. So this is the spare magazine placement in the bottom of the butt on the real rifle. However, on the Airsoft version, you can also store a spare magazine in. So you can carry one magazine in the gun, one magazine in the butt, and go out with very little else on you. So I really like that concept. Could also be handy storage space for, I don't know, more BBs, some snacks, some Mars bar, whatever floats your boat. You can see it looks like you've got two spaces and the actual butt pad, and those can be taken off and you can adjust the length of pull for your needs. So overall, a really tidy little rifle. There are some sling points, an ASG sells some sling mounts to mount into those. And there's also a attachment down here for a small bit of rail. You can put a more normal bipod on or some other accessories if you want. So the next thing we're going to do is get this loaded up, get some shots downrange and get the hot bedded in. So we're using quite lightweight BBs at the moment. All we really want to do is get the hot bedded in before we do a run. I want to get 300-400 BBs through it before we actually start testing it. Otherwise we're not going to get a really fair representation of what it can do. So, first shots. We'll go one forward. That's about perfect for 3.2s, so we can set the hot for 3.2s, which is nice. And then we'll just get some rounds downrange. Just to make sure we do a full cycle of the bolt all the way up. Don't try and short stroke it. And then we're out. Okay, mag change is quick. So, mag's changed already. Bolt is really nice and light compared to a lot of Airsoft sniper rifles, whatever coating they've got on the cylinder and the piston. I'll do a quick chrono in a minute and see what we're doing. Chrono on 3.2s, the hop set for 3.2s. Obviously we'd use heavyweight sniper ammo for the real test, but again we're bedding the hop in, but interesting to see what the power is. 2.35 joules, 397 FPS. 8, 4, 400, 10 start, 7, 3, 7, 4, 9, 7, 9, 399. So we've got about 398 plus or minus 2, and the joules are sitting just under 2.4 joules. Okay, pretty consistent. Now, unfortunately today we've got drizzle coming in. I can't use my big range camera to do the long range test on film. We'll come back there and do a part 2, and we'll do all the accuracy trials on video for you guys. I know you really like those. You like to see the flight of the BB. So the next thing we'll do is just find out with this completely stock Scout which weight BB does it like. So I've got a selection from ASG's precision sniper range, 3.6s, 4s, 4.3s and 4.8s. So we're just going to shoot them, see what range we get out of them, just anecdotally, probably with Gadge standing down range waving at me, and we'll put them through the chrono and we'll just see which BB it likes the best. So let's try 3.6s. And I just observe the BB flight against the green wall at the end of the range. So you might even be able to touch much. Okay, perfect. Right, I'm intrigued. It's creeping. So we're at 2.42, 380. 2.40, 2.9, 2.45, 383, 2.49, 386, 2.46, 3.4, 3.4, 2.46. So it's still currently UK legal in terms of what an Airsoft 6mm gun is. So on most sites in the UK, the limit for single action bolt springers is about 500 FPS with a 0.2 gram BB, which is equivalent to about 2.32 joules. But depending on your site, you may need to get a spring change when you get hold of this. Not the end of the world, but it's good to know before you buy it. Right, I'm going to send my glamorous assistant downrange. He's going to observe fall of shot, and we'll work out pretty much what range we get. My glamorous assistant Gadge has just come back and let me know that the BBs are landing at about 80 metres with no holdover whatsoever. So I'm just firing straight. So with holdover, you probably get another 5 to 10 metres out of that. But I'm just firing at Gadge's chest level. Try not to hit him because I'm nice. And we're getting about 80 metres. So we'll try the 0.4s. Let's put another click on. Okay, chrono test, 0.4 gram ASG BB. 2.4. 360. In the drizzle. 2.42, 2.1. 2.43. 2.42, 2.62. 2.42, 2.1. A little bit of drizzle coming through. Things we do for you guys. 3.63, 2.54. Next range test. ASG 0.4 gram BB. As you'd expect with a heavier BB, and in fact we're maintaining our joules, we've got a little bit extra range. We're out to about 85, 90 metres now. Again, pretty good with the stock gun. And we'll go up to the 0.43s. Actually, about right. Right, okay, so that's the hop set. We'll do our little chrono check again, see where we are. So again, we will set the ammo correctly. 2.416, 347, so it's holding at about just over 2.4. So again, if you're using this weight ammo, most UK sites, you'll probably need to downgrade it. 2.45, 350 FPS. Okay, my glamorous assistant's going to do is running down. So we're getting about 90 metres out of the 0.43s. I'm still not using a massive holdover, maybe half a body high to get the furthest shots. These are a little bit inconsistent. It may just not like these. So we've got one more run to do with the 0.48s, and then we'll know which BB it likes the best. Still quite grippy in the wet. Okay, so we've still got quite a lot of hop adjustment left. We're about right for 0.48s. Let's do a chrono check. 2.325, 322. 2.37, 2.41, 2.45, 2.40, 2.38, 326. Gadge, if you do the honours. And we'll do our final maximum range test of today. Okay, so we just finished off with the ASG 0.48. Probably, Gadge reckons, the most consistent BB. They're all landing within about a couple of metres of each other at about 90 to 95 metres, with some of them pushing out past that. That's probably when I had a bit more holdover. So I was either using dead on hold or about half a target high, so not a lot. And we're getting out to 90, 95 metres stock with the ASG Scout in partnership with Modify. So pretty effective for a stock gun. It is slightly hot for most UK sites. Certainly this one is. Your mileage may vary depending on where you get it from. Maybe worth, if you do decide to get one in the UK, ask the shop to chrono it with heavy BBs before you get it, and if so, you may need to change the spring to get it down to your site levels. Some sites it may not matter, and if you're not in the UK, that also may not matter at all either. But for now, we've got 90, 95 metres out of this completely stock with a 0.48 gram BB. So we're really happy. Thanks to Thurlaston Airgun and Archery Centre for the use of their range today. Thanks for watching. I've been Tom from AATV. Please like, subscribe. You can join our Patreon to keep this project as independent as possible. Buy our cool t-shirts. Most importantly, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.